Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, as the school year has already started here in my home state of Mississippi, it's probably where you are, too, across the country. A lot of things we're thinking about when it comes to our kids are, of course, healthy, nutritious snacks, but also, of course, things that are appropriate for them depending on their age. Well, I promise you, I am not the one you want to talk to about the way to eat healthy snacks, but I have the perfect guest that is joining us today. We have Marina Chaparro joining us. She is a pediatric dietitian. She's going to share with you guys not only about the importance of choosing appropriate and nutritious snacks, but also how you guys can get some great information and some great tips for yourself as well. Marina, thank you so much for the time. Really do appreciate it.
So happy to be here, and you said it, Mississippi parents, listen up, because we're going to be talking all about on the go for busy parents.
And Marina, this is an important topic, and as I said, that's why I come to the experts, because I don't have kids, and so I do not want people to try to take my advice for this. But you are not only, as I mentioned, a pediatric dietitian, but you are a mother yourself. What are your favorite go-to snacks, Marina, when it comes to having those nutritious snacks on the go?
And, parents are looking for, those healthy options that taste good. And like you said, kids will actually eat them, but they're also convenient. So I can say this because I'm a parent, but also I'm a registered dietitian. And I'm very excited to share some of my knowledge and some of those tips. So let's start with tip number one. And if you want your kid to eat more fruits and veggies, I want you to do this. Cut them up. And studies show that by simply cutting fruit and veggies, kids are more likely to eat them. So, let's think of a fun container, something that is easy for them to eat. And again, the whole point is making it easy for them, not harder. And point number two, and tip number two is, let's think of fruits and veggies in all of its forms, right? So it's not just fresh, of course we love fresh, but sometimes it's not as convenient. So dehydrated fruit could be a great option if we're, at a kid's soccer game or it's really, really hot. Or we could do a trail mix. It's perfectly great. You can take it on the go. And another one of my favorite is Gerber Triple Berry Fruit and Veggie Melt. So these are made from real fruits and veggies. They have no added sugar, no colors or preservatives. So again, thinking of nutrition that tastes good, but it's, meeting us where we are.
Yeah. Marina, to that point of meeting us where we are, I think the other thing is, and again, as I said, with my not being a parent, one thing I do know is that, of course, all snacks are not created equal for all ages. So what advice do you have for parents on choosing appropriate snacks for their children, depending on where they are as far as age and what their needs might be?
You said it. Not all snacks are created equal. So I think it's really important for parents to know what to look for. So things like iron, like protein, like potassium, and whole grains are really, really vital for a kid's development. So, let's think of snacks as a way to even maximize their nutrition by including some of these nutrients. So, we can make some muffins. I made some yesterday with my daughter.
Can I make an appointment for a pedicure?
Carrot muffins, and, they include some carrots. They include some chia seeds, flax seeds. We can also do a granola bar, so making sure it is higher in fiber, lower in sugar. And for other, whole foods, I'm thinking Gerber Wonder Food hearts made from 4 grams of whole grain. So we can include all of these nutrients in snacks that are simple for parents to take.
Love that. And to that point, too, as I mentioned, especially with the new school year, but even before, now, Marina, I think the important thing, it seems to be with everything, right, is starting young. When it comes to healthy eating habits, how important is that to be able to start at a young age trying to get them used to those healthy options?
So start them young. You said it. So the first 2 years of life are actually a critical window for their child, for their development. So this is when we might establish eating habits, routines. And I think this also, my last tip, let's use snacks as a way to maybe introduce new foods, introduce new textures, and not being afraid. So, even some guacamole and some plantain chips, or, some hummus or some black bean dip. So things that we might not necessarily think of. Or another favorite is a plant-based snack from Gerber called Plantastic Little Crunchies that is actually made from white beans and hummus, and it includes 2 grams of protein. So we're still introducing those new flavors, but in an appropriate manner, and, getting them used to what lies ahead in the future.
Love that. Marina, all of these are great tips, and it looks like Gerber really has us covered. What you kind of mentioned this earlier when we first started the conversation about being able to do things like cutting things up and and making them, I think, even looking more appealing. Is that something that would also help when it comes to those kids who don't necessarily think they like vegetables or may need a little help when it comes to getting that nutritious snack when it comes to fruits and vegetables?
I think a great tip is really to include our kids in the kitchen and in the process the more we can, whether it's in the supermarket, whether it's let's pack our own lunch and snacks, whether it's, in the kitchen, like I said, making the muffins that we did yesterday. The more inclusion, the less threatening, these new foods will become. And so I think that's really, really hard for parents sometimes to do because we don't have time. But realizing that eating is a journey, right? It's not a destination. It's not going to happen by tomorrow. It's like riding a bike. It's learning to like new foods is like riding a bike. It takes practice. It takes time.
Love that. And that's why we're glad to be able to have the experts here to help us out and to see how Gerber is able to make it a little bit easier. Marina, thank you so much for the great tips today. Where can our audience go for more information and to learn about some of these tips?
So you can check me out for more kids nutrition tips at my Instagram at Nutrichicos, and you can check out these products at Gerber.com.
All right, Marina, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
So happy to be here, and yes, happy back to school and happy snacking.
All right, definitely. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.